Ethiopia and Eritrea are once again moving toward conflict, and this time, the situation is becoming dangerous very quickly. Tensions are rising across northern Ethiopia, armed groups are fighting the government, Eritrea is being accused of backing anti-government factions, and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is increasingly talking about Ethiopia's need for access to the Red Sea. The last war devastated the region and killed hundreds of thousands of people. Now the warning signs are appearing again. Ethiopia is facing growing instability across multiple regions. In Tigray, federal troops have been redeployed. Flights between Mekelle and Addis Ababa have been disrupted. Residents are also reporting serious banking problems. At the same time, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, the TPLF, is openly challenging the federal government again. The TPLF wants its political status restored, its regional authority recognized again, and disputed lands returned. That is sharply increasing tensions with Addis Ababa. The crisis is no longer limited to Tigray. In Amhara, Fano militias are fighting the Ethiopian government. These groups once fought alongside federal forces during the Tigray War. Now they are fighting against Addis Ababa after the government tried to disband regional militias. In Oromia, federal troops are fighting the Oromo Liberation Army. According to reports, some of these groups are now coordinating indirectly with the TPLF and Eritrea. That is turning Ethiopia into a large internal proxy battlefield. Ethiopia is accusing Eritrea of supporting armed groups inside Ethiopian territory. At the same time, Ethiopia is also accused of backing anti-Eritrean factions. Both countries are now using proxy groups to weaken each other. This is not new in the Horn of Africa, but the situation is becoming much more dangerous now, because proxy conflicts can quickly evolve into direct war, and tensions between Addis Ababa and Asmara are rising fast. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is increasingly talking about Ethiopia's need for Red Sea access. Ethiopia became landlocked after Eritrea gained independence in 1993. Today, Ethiopia depends heavily on Djibouti for access to global trade routes. Abiy says Ethiopia cannot remain separated from the Red Sea forever. That statement is alarming Eritrea, because many Eritreans believe Ethiopia could eventually try to take the port of Assab by force. Abiy denies planning a war, but his speeches are increasing fears across the region. A direct war between Ethiopia and Eritrea would be extremely destructive. Ethiopia's military is already overstretched. The country is fighting multiple armed conflicts internally. Fuel shortages are also creating serious military pressure. At the same time, Eritrea has remained heavily militarized for decades, and Eritrea has spent years preparing for possible conflict with Ethiopia. A war over Assab could destabilize the entire Horn of Africa. Regional powers are already connected to this crisis. Sudan could support Eritrea. The UAE could support Ethiopia because of its regional partnerships. Turkey and Gulf countries are also deeply involved diplomatically across the Horn of Africa. That means another Ethiopia-Eritrea conflict could quickly expand into a larger regional confrontation, especially if Red Sea shipping routes are affected. Ethiopia's upcoming elections are now becoming a major flashpoint. If elections cannot be properly held in Tigray, the political crisis could become much worse. The TPLF's unresolved legal status is already creating confrontation with the federal government, and tensions are increasing week by week. The fear now is simple. Political instability inside Ethiopia could trigger a much larger regional conflict. Ethiopia and Eritrea are once again moving toward confrontation. Internal conflicts are spreading across Ethiopia, proxy groups are becoming more active, and tensions over the Red Sea are increasing political pressure across the region. The last war devastated northern Ethiopia. Another conflict could destabilize the entire Horn of Africa. And right now, the warning signs are becoming impossible to ignore. For more geopolitical and African security analysis, subscribe to Indo-Pacific Report and stay informed.